Hi everyone, and welcome to the N.A.R.C.N Networking channel. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N Network, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today we're going to be presenting to you episode 192, and the title of episode 192 is The Narcissist Uses Fear to Control. So in this episode we're just going to be talking about a few things that the narcissist does that actually imposes fear on a person to gain control of them. Now, I'm going to present an example here from a conversation I had the other day with somebody that I know who is currently dealing with a narcissist in their lives, and I had a whole long discussion with this person the other day on the internet for a couple of hours about their person and what they weren't even sure that they were indeed dealing with a person who may have narcissistic disorder. At least I don't think they were sure. But we had a long conversation. They talked to me a bit about their person, and they gave me some examples of what they were doing. And I'm going to use one or two of these examples here right now to demonstrate to you guys how a narcissist uses fear or imposes fear to gain some degree of control over a person. Now, that being said, narcissistic females and narcissistic males have slightly different behavior when it comes to using fear or imposing fear on a person to gain control of them. Males are more often to actually use violence to gain control, or to use the threat of violence. Females are more apt to using psychology or something like a blackmailing tactic to actually gain control over another person, or some threat of imposing control through the extraction of the ability for you to communicate or to interact with them. These are just two of the differentiating things that males and females do when they try to put you in a control condition using some type of fear imposed upon you. But we'll go into the example of my friend here who I spoke to the other day. My friend's fiance, who she's no longer involved with currently at the moment, they're separated, she would approach him with some type of dialogue concerning something. It could be something that went on at work with him, or something that she was trying to, some type of dialogue which would be like trying to help him through a problem, let's say, he was having with somebody at work. And he would respond to her in the most adverse way. He would get aggravated or angry. His response would be aggravated or angry with her. He'd be like, oh, I don't want to talk about this now. I don't want to talk about this situation, blah, blah, blah. Now, she wasn't putting anything towards him that I would deem, based on psychology, of an abrasive nature that may be problematic. She was trying to make him feel better, and plausibly to open a dialogue or conversation with him to help him deal with whatever he was going on with in this work situation. But his response to her was to lose his cool and to start kind of berating her and saying, you know, why do you want to talk to me about this now? I can't do this thing now. You can't now. I can't now. I have to think about this, and blah blah blah. And he would do things of this nature like this, but he also did other things of a what would be considered to be violent nature. He would scare this person at times with some of the physical manifestations of things that he would do, and she would have to do things like, at one point she locked herself in the bathroom to get away from him, and things of this nature. Now, if a narcissist is manifesting these particular things, whether it be violent actions, perceived violent actions, threat of violence, whatever that may particularly be, this is not a good thing, but this is indeed how some narcissistic males actually exhibit control, through threat of violence, or through the act of violence, or through just acting out towards a female in this particular way, because females are not necessarily violent by their nature. Again, this is not all females, because we have very strong female characters in life and in the people amongst us. And some females will not take that type of behavior from a male. They'll give it right back to him. But some women who are more timid may not want to deal with that, and they may see it as a threat, and it may put them in a fearful mode. And they will respond accordingly by backing away and getting away from that topic, not continuing dialogue, not trying to continue to talk to that person. and this in turn is a form of control that that narcissist has put on that person. He's basically shut down that person's dialogue, so they cannot talk, they cannot express themselves, and they cannot have any control of what's going on. And this is just a very simple usage of fear through the threat of violence, or through acting out towards a person, that can be used either by a male or indeed by a female as well too. Females will use other types of control measures. Often if a female is not getting what they want out of a male, they will threaten that male to discontinue conversation with them, or they will indeed perhaps hang up on them on the phone. Males also do this too. This person I was just talking about, their male fiancé would do the same thing to them. He would hang up on her. But this indeed is an action that females often use, or they threaten the male to disengage with them in some particular way, to become uninvolved with them, to block them on social media, to block them on their phone, to threaten that they're going to leave the relationship because they're unhappy with something that's going on. It can even be something that isn't that amazingly important that's going on, or that amazingly gripping that's going on, and a female will sometimes use that type of action to gain control, or to put that male in fear, because of course we all fear losing somebody that we are close to, or that we are in love with in some particular way, and that is a good way to gain control through fear of a person. And females often use this as well too. But as well, I have examples on my narcissist network of females who use violence as a form of fear and control. I have one person on my network whose parent is older than them, and the parent, when they're not getting what they want, they are a full-blown narcissist, a real high-level full-blown narcissist like this, and when they are not getting what they want from that individual, they resort to violent tactics, they resort to violent language, abusive language with this person. And this is how they manifest things out. And this person will even throw things in the house, not necessarily throw things at the victim, but they will throw things about the house. They will throw things, they have actually thrown things at this person before in an act of violence towards that person, to gain control or to impose fear upon that person. And this is something that females can also do, that may indeed affect their narcissistic victim in this particular way. So this is essentially how narcissists use fear to control persons. It can be psychological fear, it can be fear of violence, it can be actual physical violence. It can be when a person isn't doing what that narcissist wants them to do. That narcissist may simply say, well, you know, if you don't do this, then I'm going to do that, and that's going to be the end of us, and I'm gonna break up with you, and I'm going to go off somewhere else, and I'm going to do things of this particular nature. Sometimes if the narcissist is not getting other things that they want, it can be even be other types of actions that I can't think of one to come to mind right now, but there are other types of actions that they will use. They will sometimes get up and just go, oh, this is a great example. Somebody else I had on the N.A.R.C.N network about a year or so ago used to explain to me that when their narcissist was trying to impose fear upon them, and this is a different type of fear, but it's a type of fear of loss that they're imposing upon this person. This narcissist would get up, start a fight with this person, and they would get up and leave and disappear. And they wouldn't come back for days, or a week, or 3 weeks. This is what this person would do. They would just put this person in and they would, when they would disappear, when the narcissist would disappear, they would have no dialogue with this person. This person would message them or call them on their phone. They didn't know where they were. The narcissist would not respond. They would not respond for days. They would not respond for a week or longer. This is a way of using fear of loss of someone upon a person, because that person didn't know truly what was going on at that moment. They didn't know if this narcissist had buggered off and decided to leave their relationship with them. They don't know. That, again, this is fear. This is using fear to control somebody in an instance where that person doesn't, or that victim doesn't know what's going on with this narcissist, because they're not getting any feedback. They're not getting any idea from that narcissist what is truly up. Again, this is another extreme use of fear that narcissists use against their victims. Narcissists use fear. It's always an action when they're doing things of this when they are doing things of this nature. It is always mostly an act of control. A lot of the narcissist threats are completely empty, except for violent ones. Ones of a violent nature where they're acting out against you or they do physical harm to you. That is not an act of that is benign in any nature. That is an act where you need to get the proper authorities involved in there and get control of whatever your narcissist may be doing with you. And if a narcissist is being violent or abusive with you in a physical way, or even in an emotional way, I would say to you, get away from that narcissist and definitely protect yourself as you get away from that narcissist. Use policing services if you need to. Do whatever you have to do to gain safety from that narcissist if something like that is going on. But again, that's a narcissist using fear to control you and fear to control that situation with that victim to get what they want out of them or to just gain control of them. So these are some of the things that I just wanted to talk to you about here in episode 192 of how narcissists use fear or impose fear upon you to gain control. So that was it for episode 192 here. I'm going to say to you guys, please stay tuned. I got lots of new content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network and also on the Unmasking the channel. On the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you really soon with some new upcoming videos.